These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with breaking Boston Celtics news. The Celtics have traded for Jrue Holiday. The deal we all speculated is done. I stayed up last night till 4:30 a.m. helping my sister with a paper for college. And when I went to bed, Sam, I texted my brother Henry. I said, Henry, wake me up by noon, or if the Celtics trade for Jrue Holiday. Henry comes running in my room, says, Jack. I go, no. He goes, look at your phone. And I'm so
He comes running in. He says, it's noon, and they traded for Jrue Holiday.
Exactly. But the Celtics have traded Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams, the 2024 Warriors pick, sorry, Sam, and the 29 Celtics pick to the Blazers in exchange for Jrue Holiday. This was the trade a lot of us speculated. I figured Rob would have to be in the deal in order for it to make sense for Portland. You had to assume they wanted picks. Brogdon was going to have to be in the deal too. They kept Al Horford. And as much as they did give up some of their future draft pick flexibility, they kept a lot of it by trading that Warriors pick, right? They now owe picks in 2028 and 2029. But other than that, they have control out of their draft future. Like the Celtics have more control over their draft future than teams like the Bucks, the Sixers, the Heat. Like, I know giving up Rob is a lot, but I've talked about it a lot as we've been discussing the trade. Like, as much as, sorry, I'm reading now. Okay, sorry. Rose was tweeting about the full Lillard trade. As much as Rob is a lot to give up, he hasn't been able to consistently stay on the court for his entire career. It's always been a concern. It's a concern we've noted whenever we've talked about the Celtics' big rotation. Jrue Holiday is an all defensive level player. Like you've essentially replaced Marcus Smart with this trade, as much as you don't like to look at it that way. He hasn't been the peak of health throughout his career, but like since actually I'm saying that he's played 60 or more games in every season since 2014-15, except for one. And that season he played 59, and I'm pretty sure that was a shortened year. So love Rob.
You okay over there?
Malcolm Brogdon's fine. I am.
You have like
up.
that tightness in your chest where you can tell you're like just so excited. Like
I am so
you don't even know what to
unbelievably
say.
excited for this deal. I'm so excited. I'll let you talk because I'm exploding. Whew.
This deal kind of scares me. Not to say I'm not excited about it. All right. I want to first and foremost say it is like a good addition. We talked about this as soon as the Dame trade happened. We speculated on it with Cam. We were both like, this is awesome. We both were like, would. And I still think this is an okay deal because essentially you're losing Rob Williams and 2 draft picks for Jrue Holiday because you're replacing Malcolm Brogdon with Jrue Holiday. Fine. Jrue Holiday is 33 years old now. Okay, fine. He is how tall? 6'3". What did I say about Dame all summer? Those guys don't last forever. The sub 6'5" guards aren't going to be good forever. Jrue Holiday, one of the big things he brings to the table is defense that requires athleticism. That's something you lose as you grow older. Again, not the best thing ever, but it's an idea. I think he's going to contribute quite well to the Celtics. Don't get me wrong. I think he doesn't have a tremendous amount of responsibility. I think he was able to contribute to Milwaukee just fine last year with their 2 stars and win a championship there 2 years ago. Great. You have championship experience now. Like you said, you've kind of replaced Marcus Smart in the sense that you have a defensive guard. You have somebody that can play make. He averaged, 7.5 assists last year? That's pretty good. Yeah. It worries me because now you have thrown out Rob Williams, who is on an excellent contract, which is fine. That's kind of the reason you sign into these contracts is so they're tradable, correct? Right?
Partially. Yeah, that helps.
So now you're stuck with a 36-year-old Al Horford
37.
and Kristaps Porzingis. Oh, 37. Even better.
Yeah.
33-year-old Jrue Holiday. And then Tatum and Brown is your starting lineup. I think. Right? And we haven't even talked about the Derek White piece of this either. So
he's still only 28, so he does fit in.
No, I'm not talking about his age. You just
or 29. I know, still.
So we talked about Porzingis maybe being hurt all summer. Reports are that he's healthy, but that doesn't mean he's going to remain healthy. Al Horford's going to need to rest back-to-backs. He's not going to play probably more than 55 games to 60. That range, probably what he did last year, is what you should expect. They don't have a ton of big man depth. It's something we talked about. Does that mean Blake Griffin's coming back? Because little spoiler for tomorrow's pod when it comes out, like you saw the thing that was like he's thinking about retiring, but if he wants to come back, the door's open from Brad Stevens. He told the Boston Globe that. So there's that angle to this too. Like there's a lot of different things. But even then, I don't want Blake Griffin as my like rotational piece. I like him as a vibes guy. I like him as a spot starter, but I don't want him having to play a major role every game. Does this mean they believe in Neemias Queta that much? They believe in Luke Cornett? They're going to go get Dwight?
Kenneth Reed.
I mean, there's still work to be done after you do this deal. I feel like the Rob thing leaves you with a little bit of a hole that you have to patch.
There is.
And you are all in now.
Oh,
You're all in. So the thing I bitch about the most is like, it sucks when, your team's good. Well, now you're like all in. Like you have to win now. Like not only was I saying like you better win when you traded Smart away. Now you've traded Rob Williams away, and it's not the same emotional heartbreak, but it's still like a significant message you're sending to the fan base, which is like also respect. Like, yes, cool. You care about us. You want to put a winning team on the floor. Awesome. But now the pressure's on these guys. They have to win now. There's no screwing around anymore. You can't be blowing leads. You have to close games.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Listen, I understand the concerns, the obvious concerns of giving up Rob. That said, you just went through the whole roster saying, okay, they're less depth now because of these injuries. It was a 2-for-1 trade. So basically you're sacrificing one piece of depth to get a guy who is objectively better than both of the players you traded away, correct? He just is, right? On top of that, I would argue you're getting a guy who is objectively healthier than both of the players you just traded away. Malcolm Brogdon had a healthy season last year, sure. But that was the first healthy season he's had in a long time. Since let's see, he played 67 games last year. That's the first time he played 60 games since 2018-19, right? So good for him.
Right? He came off the bench twice last year?
Maybe, apparently.
What the hell? I'm sorry to cut you off. I was like, well, Jrue Holiday played the same amount of games, but he came off the bench twice. That's weird.
So there's that. Robert Williams. I mean, I don't even have to look at the numbers for Robert Williams' injury history. So as much as it is okay, it's 2-for-1. Like he plays more games than both of them. You do have to worry about depth. Celtics do have to objectively just go out and get another big. Maybe another vet. Maybe it's Blake Griffin. Maybe it's Kenneth Reed. Bismack Biyombo is still out there. Like, and that's not perfect, but there are still guys out there in free agency who have played like solid minutes in the NBA in the past 2 seasons, right? Like there are still guys out there who can give rotational minutes. Like, and you know what, Sam? Best and the part about this is we're gonna do another breaking video in the next week or so because they're gonna sign people, right? They have to sign someone.
This is good for the channel.
Exactly. So you look at some of the bigs that are available. And like I said, Bismack Biyombo is still out there. Blake Griffin, obviously still out there. Willie Hernangomez just had a really good run in the FIBA World Cup. So they're not perfect options, but there are options out there. But it does suck to give up Robert Williams, especially when you look at something like this. Chris Forsberg saying, talk to Rob at 8 a.m. this morning. He was gushing about the season ahead in Boston. That is sad.
Wow.
It is sad, but
Forsberg's going to be dying too, man.
Yeah, Forsberg loves him.
Can you get a wellness check on Forsberg? That's his guy.
Chris. That was the only thing he tweeted.
Oh, no.
Man. But Celtics pulled the trigger. Jrue Holiday to the Celtics. Sam, I'm just in. I'm in. There's nothing else I can say. I'm in on the move. I love it. I love Jrue Holiday because, again, the depth part sucks. But this is also part about this. Celtics kept Peyton Pritchard in this deal, which is like doesn't seem like much. Oh, it's just Peyton Pritchard. Like that's kind of important.
Well, the report was that Portland was interested in him.
Exactly.
He was the piece.
Exactly.
One more thing before we go. And this pertains also, we're matching today. We always match. What does this mean for your guy, Derek White? They're going to have to bring him off the bench now.
Yeah.
He's not as good off the bench.
Not last year, but I feel like a part of that was how inconsistent his role was. Like we looked at the sample size of the bench, and I'm not going to say you're wrong, and I'm not trying to make excuses for it, but he was mainly a starter last season, And so you look at that's kind of like Peyton Pritchard not being great in the minutes he got. Like it's hard to develop a rhythm when your role has changed. And so I get it. And hopefully he gets the Brogdon treatment where he's purely the sixth man this year. So maybe the Celtics get back-to-back six mans of the year. Would be pretty cool. But I'm hyped. I don't know why I had a feeling this was going to happen today. I texted my brother. I was like, if Jrue Holiday gets traded to the Celtics, let me know. But it felt like a media day coming up and they didn't want to wait until the start of something. So I don't know. And
this
again,
happened fast.
I know what I was going to say though.
Go ahead.
Giving up Rob sucks. Giving up Malcolm sucks. Two solid pieces, right? But listen, the Celtics' new starting five and six man is Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, Derek White. I don't think there is a better starting five and six man in the NBA. I think that's the best. I
think you're right.
3 all-stars from last season.
4
one
potential
who played like an all-star, Al Horford and Derek White. That's pretty damn close to the best in the league. And and also, I'm sorry, there is nothing funnier. There's going to be nothing funnier than watching Jrue Holiday lock up Damian Lillard next year. That is going to be the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited. Oh man,
it's gonna be a little bit of juice. A little bit of juice. Reminds me when Kyrie left, and it was like, oh, he's gonna come back. Smart's gonna have to cover him after being the understudy for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Same vibes. Jrue, chip on the shoulder. I like that. I'm pro that.
And another thing, excuse me, I just got the hiccups. Wow. Another thing, Shams tweeted, I believe it was. I think the Celtics were among a short list.
I love when they do Photoshops with numbers that are retired.
That's why for the thumbnail you're seeing, I used Woj's because he used 31, and I don't think that's retired. I assumed.
No, 31 is retired. 20's not.
Oh well.
You used Woj's. You used the right one.
No, then I probably used the wrong one. I think I used 31.
No.
I can change it out though. It's not posted. I used 20. Here it is. Yes, the Celtics were among teams at the very top of Holiday's wish list in recent days, and expectations is Celtics are eager to retain him long term. Holiday has a year left on his deal, and then a player option. Blah blah blah. I think the other part to note, you keep saying smaller guards don't age gracefully. Yes, you're correct. Don't. Two things about that. One, I don't think Holiday will be as bad as other guards because he's not so scoring focused. He's never been pure scorer. His defense might take a hit, but even if your physical defense isn't completely there, you still have the mindset of the defender. You still have the ability to know where you're being, the leadership, all that stuff. So I think that's good. And also, like I said with Dame, if there's ever a place for a guard to age gracefully in the NBA, it is with the team like the Celtics where he doesn't have to do much.
True.
So I'm amped. We'll leave you guys with that. I'm sure we'll talk about this more during media day and training camp and when the Celtics make more signings because that will determine how good this deal is. I'm going to have a good time at media day. Thank you all for tuning in. The room I made is called Jrue fucking Holiday, baby. I'm excited for the move. Let us know what you think, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching us as we break down the breaking news. We don't have a ton of info yet. I'm not sure how much is going to come out, but keep your eyes peeled for that across other platforms too. You can follow us, subscribe to the YouTube, hit the notification bell just in case any other breaking news happens this week. Jack said they do have to sign people, so keep your eyes out for that. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at How About Them C's. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. This will be there as well as Twitter. You can find Jack at Jacksimone NBA on Twitter. You can find me at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.